Hello producers, it's Özgün here. In this video, I'm gonna listen your demos and give some feedbacks, and if you're ready, let's get into that video. Okay, first track is Copycat from Enfeida. Sorry man, I have no idea how to spell this. The mid bass could be like fit in the mix better. Just try to lower some of the mid frequencies of it, and maybe you can just make a cutoff filter for the mid bass and you can leave for some space for the other elements in the track. Right now the mid bass and the arp are fighting with each other, so you should do something like this. Make the mid bass a bit more narrow and maybe a bit cutoff automation, and then make your arps super wide with some stereo enhancing and you are good to go. Really nice melody, really nice vibe. I just get into that ambience. So in this section, the strings are really nice, and you can maybe make some of the counter top melodies to the strings, even keep the things more interesting. So don't loop the same strings pattern over and over. Just add some more variations to the top of the strings and you can make really cool vibe with it. Good job, man. I really like the idea. The track is really cool. The sounds are nice. The sample selection is good. You need to make sure the bass and the arp are not clashing because they are the most important element in this track. And maybe some variations to the strings and you are good to go. The next track is from DJ. Future is Back. Add some snaps, something to this section. You don't need this snare and it's kinda empty. Just add some pad, add some arp to the background, some FX, some sweep downs, sweep ups. It's really like dual right now. You gotta feel all the background. So again, it's really empty, and you should remove the sidechain of the leads if it's a build-up section. just make sure in the electronic music the main element is the kick, and just make sure in the drop if we can clearly hear the kick or not. In this example I cannot hear the kick, it's like droning in the other elements. Just be sure, just solo the kick and add every element top of it, and you need to hear the kick all the time. It shouldn't be like fade away or drown in the other elements in the mix. So you need to practice more, man, and I'm sure you can do really better with some practicing. For example, this snare is not fitting with the track. You should look for better sample selection. You need to think like all the samples should be sound as a one giant track. And also the leads are over the side chained. If you are using a kickstart, you don't need to make it 100%. Like you can use it maybe 70%, 80%. You should try all the variations and see which fits best to your track. Again, really nice section, cool wobbling bass, but the background is really empty. You need some sweep downs, crashes, some ambient stuff, some pads, some strings on the drop. If I were you, I would watch as many as tutorials and I try to practice every day. I'm sure you can make really good stuff. Congratulations on your track, and please send me your new tracks and I want to see your progress. So new track is from Soundwaves, Error. I can clearly say, before listening the rest of the track, everything is a bit clipping, like they are over-limiting, over-compressed, it seems. Make sure you are turning off the FS to the limiter and you have enough headroom before you're rendering. I really like the trap part of the big room drops. It's a really nice idea, but you have to like work on the mix down and make sure your melody isn't too repetitive. You need to keep it a bit more interesting, just add some variations all the time. And for example, you don't need to put the claps just instantly after 4 bars. Just half of the drop can be without the claps, and then you can bring the claps. And you gotta work on the mix down, like the same critic from the previous track. Just put your kick on the drop, make it solo, and put every element top of your kick, and just make sure your kick isn't drowning, isn't fighting with anything else in the track, because it's the most fundamental part in the drop. This plug selection, the sample is not good. The preset, you gotta change it. Again, all the sounds are fighting. They are not sound like one good track, one sound. They are fighting. Every sound is doing its own job and they are not fitting well together. You need to make sure check every equalizers, make sure nothing is clashing with each other, and watch as many as mixing tutorials. And you already knew how to arrange a track, what is the traffic of the track. You know that you only need to work on mix down and the sound selection. It's like 2013, 2014 big room tracks. I really liking this kind of genre. I really like this kind of tracks. But you have to make sure your sounds are new and keep working, man. I can't wait to hear your next track. So the next track is from LA Records, Hands Up feat. Amy. Really nice vibe. If I were you, I would layer the bass, like separate some sub and some mid bass and process them differently. I probably have some tutorials about how to layer basses because the bass can be more groovy, more fat, and it can be more bouncy, if you know what I mean. It's too long. Something new should come in this section. And just make sure the volume balances and the mastering of the track. Because some parts are too loud, some samples are too silent. Just make sure you are making the gain stage and the volume balances. And I think it's almost finished. You are good to release this track as soon as you fix these little problems. Good job. So the next track is from Carvo. Yo, let's see which big room banger he will show me. First, maybe you can remove the sidechain on the build-up or make even less and just make the leads a bit more wet in the build-up so they can be like clearly going to the drive from the wet. It can be like driving to the drop a bit better than this.
1, 2, 3, go!
It's almost there, but I think the leads can be a bit more present in the 5K area, and just be sure like you can make a bit more crispness with some adding like 12K, 13K area. Other than that, it's really clean, really nice. Maybe just add something to this section. I don't know. You can feel a bit more to the post drop, post climax. It's really nice track, man. You are making a really nice big drum, and I'm sure you will be somewhere good in the future. Just keep working and send me new demos. Good job. So the next track is from Shamanu and Amandrix, Pandemic. Something wrong with the EQ, like the bass is a bit too on the back.
World Health Organization has just declared a global coronavirus outbreak. It is a pandemic.
Really nice vibe.
The pandemic describes how widespread an illness is. The WHO has said it is tightening its criteria.
Again, you can just turn off the sidechain for the leads in the build-up. Because there's no kick, they can be more like clear.
Classifying an outbreak as a pandemic and working on a new definition as it relates to coronavirus.
Again, your leads are sidechain too much. Just remove some of the sidechain so they can cut through from the mix. They are now a bit droning in the track. And also your leads sound a bit generic. You should find some cool layer. Just give it some character, give it some identity. Now it's a bit too generic. Just a regular random drop big room sound from any track. Work on the layers. Make it more crisp and make it stand out in the mix. You can do it with less sidechain. So you should find the true value of your sidechain. And also just make sure it's reverb, it's layers, and give some unique layer to give it some identity, some character. And you can do something like this if you want to make this track even more interesting. So the drop is like ba 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 da ba dum 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 dum. So there are two people like conversing with each other, right? So one question can be a different sound. The answer can be a different sound. So there should be two separate drop leads because the melody is repetitive. And if you do like divide it to two different leads, it's gonna be not boring. It's gonna be even more interesting if you do something like this. Just keep that in mind.
Organization has criteria classifying outbreaks.
Again, it's really cool track. You make the arrangements perfect. Just make sure your sound selection and the mix down could be better. Just keep working on it and send me new tracks. Good job. New track is Balenciaga from Gianzi. There's something wrong with the plug bass and the like vocal. Some of them are putting off key. Just make sure everything is on the right key. This note is not in your scale. Yes, this plug. The drop is really nice, and the vocal is really coming from the like two back, and I kind of like it. Your bass should be a bit more crisp. You can layer it with some top bass. And again, the vocals are pushing some off keys. Just make sure everything is on the scale. Again, I really like the drop. If you fix this some problems, some technical problems, this track can be a really nice release. Good job. So the new track is from the Dark Minor feature. The arp is not fitting with the vocal. Some, again, off-key problems I hear. The drop idea, the melody, I really like it, but everything is fighting with each other. Just try to make sure you're mixing them better. Just start with the kick and add the bass, add the lead, and make sure they are all sound really nice and they are not fighting with each other. And if I were you, I will put some reference track with same genre and same key. So you put it on your DAW and make sure just make A and B reference. A and B compare, listen the reference track, drop, and listen your drop. And see where is his kickstands, where is his leads, and where is yours. Just make sure, compare, and try to match the balances. If you do it, this track can be really nice. The drop is really cool. But some problem in these areas, just make sure your vocals and the background elements, your synths, your pads, your arps are like playing the same scale. And add some drums, something to people to like feel the rhythm. Just give something them to dance, you know? Just make the count of the rhythm. Because it's now too empty and you are just repeating the same stuff to the drop. You should fill with more elements. But again, the drop is really nice. If you fix the problems, this can be a really good release. Good job, man. So the next track is a festival mix from Dr. Kenobi, Cheap Thrills. Let's see.
With a bang bang.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and I want won't be long. Gotta do my hair, put my makeup on. It's Friday night and it won't be long till I hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, but I got you, baby.
Just you and me.
I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills
Something is definitely wrong in this section.
to have fun tonight. So I don't need no money.
Diamond more than gold.
The background synths are fighting with the track.
As long as I don't need no money, as long as I give in.
We have it getting out of control.
My makeup on, it's
So I'm gonna tell you what's the problem is. By the way, the drop idea is really cool, but the drop leads are a bit generic and the elements are not, the kick and bass is not powerful enough. The leads are really thin. You should work on the sound selection. The idea is really cool. And the main problem in this track, just see, this is your drop, right? And you see its volume and your build up, your break is louder than this. So there's something definitely wrong going on in this section. You should make sure your drop is the most loudest part in the track. And like in the break climax, your synths and the track on the background is really fighting with each other. You should do something about it. So about this piano, just process it better and in the MIDI, just make sure you are humanizing it. So the velocities, when you play a chord, not all the fingers are pushing at the same pressure, same tension, right? So you should make some of them a bit less strong, some of them more strong with the velocity knobs and just process the piano better. Maybe it can be a bit more reverby and just EQ some of the mids. It's like boxy now. This section, you gotta really remake this part because the climax are everything is fighting with each other. If you fix the problems, the idea is really nice and this kind of festival remix are always good to play, but you gotta make sure your drop is hitting powerful enough and your break climax it's like a mess. You gotta work on this. If you fix it, please send me. I'm gonna give a feedback. So the new track is from RVH 2005 Rework. The drums can be more present. So this kind of tracks, you gotta mix them perfectly because the drop leads are generic and drop idea is like from couple years ago, but if you mix it perfectly, I'm sure you can find some big level labels to release it. I can hear the Dharma like signature sound in this track, but make sure in the drop I cannot hear like the top kick, punch kick, and I cannot hear the bass. I can hear only the leads and the click of the kick. You know, you gotta make sure your volume balances are correct. Keep working, and if you finish this track, please send me back. So the new track is from Mr. Pavar, Janna Nahi. Dude, this track is amazing. It's just I'm just getting to the story. I don't even understand what she's singing, but it's really making me feel better. It's cool. The drop is really nice. Dude, it's perfect. If I were you, I would make the like, I would cut the highs of the kick so it can sound like a chest kick, and it can be really boomy in the background. So the right now the kick is a bit naked without like a proper bass with it. Also, the mix down and the sounds, main sounds, could be better. But I'm really just fell into love with this idea, with this production. It's like an anthem, and I really enjoyed it. Good job, man. If you release this track, please just send me a link. I want to support it. So the new track is from Vessel, Train Wreckage. I like this kind of industrial sounds. This lead sound, the new sound, it can be a bit more wet and a bit more interesting because right now it's too generic to me. You can make pan automations, tons of delay, reverb, and some phaser, something to keep it interesting. And in the transitions, it's a bit empty. Maybe you can make some sweep up, sweep down, some transition sounds. Yeah, the thing is, the idea is really cool, and you know how to make this industrial techno, but you have to make sure your sounds are interesting enough to make the listener keep listen the song for more than 5 minutes. Just make sure all your sounds are fresh, and I suggest you to buy the Diva VST. There are really, really cool sounds, really cool analog techno sounds in it, and you can find lots of packs. If you like update this track and or make new tracks, you can always send me for the feedbacks. Good job. New track is Until Dawn from Korgan. I thought some vocals would really fit to this section, like. All the break section is really nice, but there's nothing stand out. You gotta find some plug to play some melody top of it, or I really suggest you to get some vocals, find some vocals to that section, and it's already finished if you put some perfect vocal on it. Again, the same critic from several tracks today. I cannot hear the kick and the bass in the drop clearly. So something is fighting with each other, and you can just say that with comparing your track with some other progressive house drop, and just compare it and see where's your kick, where's the reference track kick. And also the fills, the fourth and the eighth bars of the drop, you gotta make some cool drum fills, synth fills, something, you know. If you use vocals, you can use the vocals in that section as well. So this track is going nice, but it's a bit empty and the drop needs to be mixed better. If you fix that problems, please send me back. I wanna listen it again. Thank you. Good job. And the final track of today, it's Jonas Eden Late at Night remix from Bebek.
I bought a ticket, I enjoy mine. Make me feel I'm not alone tonight. I'm on my way to your other side.
Vocals can be a bit more present in this section. Because just think that vocals are the main element in that kind of tracks. It should sound like a lead.
I can't let go of what we did and who we used to know. Of where we met and how we used to love. I'm on my way to your other side. Can't let go.
Really nice drop. It's reminding me the synth pop of like 80s kind of style, and I really enjoyed it. In this section, the main lead and the vocals are fighting with each other. It's really tricky if you use some vocals and some sound like this. They always clash with each other. I suggest you to do something like this. Put a vocal and see the EQ spectrum of it, and see where's the mainly vocal are like more present, like which frequency range are the vocals are more present. So in the lead, when they are playing at the same time, for example, vocals are really like boosted in 500k, you should deep the 500k from the leads. I hope I can explain it good. You should separate them, they should be like a puzzle, because right now the bass, the lead and the vocals are really fighting in this section.
Can we dance just you and I? Will you let me stay till the morning?
I think the snare and the rhythm can be a bit better in this part. The samples are a bit too generic. You can find really cool samples, a better snare at least. And the main lead sound can be a bit more wide, just some stereo techniques, some more delay. It can be even better, but for now, this is a release-ready track. You are already released it, and I really enjoyed it. Good job, man. It's a really cool track, and please send me your new tracks. I wanna hear and give some feedbacks and listen them. And yeah, I think today that was it. I listened all the demos that you sent me. Maybe next month we can make one more feedback session if you're enjoying this. I hope my feedbacks can be useful. If you don't understand something, please write in the comments. I want to explain and help you to improve your mixdown, improve your tracks. And today that was it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.